Hello and welcome to the Hey I'm Here Ohio Open House webinar. Hey I'm Here Ohio is funded by Ohio Mental Health and Addiction Services. So I'm going to start by introducing myself. My name is Liliana Cavetta and I attend the University of Cincinnati majoring in biomedical engineering. I am the content chair for Hey I'm Here Ohio. This will be my third year coming up this fall that I've been a part of Hey I'm Here Ohio. So a little bit about my background in mental health. I feel that I learned from a young age that you never know what's going on in someone's life. I was the most smiley, happy, kind-hearted girl, but you would have never known that when I went home, my head felt like it could explode and that I felt as if every moment I was awake, I was worrying about something. I was so young, I didn't even know how to communicate my emotions, even if I had the opportunity to. All 4 years of high school, I participated in Lake County Youth Council and spread awareness regarding mental health, suicide, and substance abuse. I felt that mental health was not talked about enough for how common it was among students and how alone many of us felt, even though we may have all had similar lived experiences. My passion for this did not just end when I graduated high school. I met Jen, one of our resilience coaches, the summer after I graduated at a random event, and it was like meant to be. It was such a random event that I could meet her at. We started talking and sharing our passion about mental health, and she told me that I would be a great person to join Hey I'm Here Ohio, and I have, and now it's going to be going on 3 years. So ever since then, I have been growing my own resilience and spreading techniques to others. And I feel that growing up, if I would have had a support system like Hey I'm Here Ohio to turn to and learn techniques from to help ease my mind and tell myself that it's okay to feel, it's okay to cry, it's okay to set boundaries, I could have been in a better headspace. And I just want youth to know that they are seen and that we are here for them through the ups and downs that life has to throw at us. They have the resilience in them, and I just want to be a part of a tool that they can use throughout their journey, to tell them to keep going and to remind them that they have so much power. Data shows that a lot of young people struggle with mental health challenges. This data point is from the National Alliance of Mental Illness, and it states that 50% of mental health conditions begin by age 14 and 75% begin by age 24. We don't have to look too far into the data to see that today, especially, there is a mental health crisis across the youth population. So what do we do about this? Hey I'm Here Ohio decided that they wanted to try and answer this, and one of the things that we know that really helps when people are struggling across all ages and all generations, when they're struggling with mental health or substance abuse, is connection and belonging. One of our squad members said it best. They said that it's important knowing that there are people out there who relate to what I'm going through and feel the things I'm feeling. So the idea of the connection, hey, I'm not alone. It's human to feel and it's human to have a range of emotions. Now the question is just how do we deal with these emotions and feelings and how do we address and cope with them on an everyday basis in a healthy way? So, Hey I'm Here Ohio is a diverse youth-led movement on a mission to grow resilience in Ohio's young people. And while we have an Instagram channel and a TikTok channel and a blog, Hey I'm Here Ohio is not just a social media campaign, but instead it's a real-world movement, and we just use social media as a tool to connect and build a community. We know that 97% of youth are actively online on a regular basis using social media, so it's crucial to meet the youth where they are. On the campaign, we have 3 core beliefs. The first is youth empowerment. Being young is uniquely challenging, and our resilience squad knows this because they're actively living out their youth. Because young people possess a unique understanding of their peers' experiences and challenges, they are each other's best messenger. By empowering the youth to take the lead with the support of knowledgeable adults who can mentor and coach the squad, we more meaningfully connect and create a positive change for Ohio's youth. Our second belief is resiliency for life. We really believe that sharing practical, actionable strategies is super important to our campaign. We know that lectures about mental health don't cut it. That's why we are all about hands-on, real-world skills that young people can actually use throughout their day. It's something they can put in their toolbox and store for later when they need to pull it out before an exam or right before a presentation or during a family dispute or during relationship issues. These resiliency practices that we are sharing with them or talking about are something that they can use in an everyday way, and we invite the squad to bring their own resilience practices as well. We know that these youth come in with their own well-being wisdom, and so while we're offering them the space to learn new tools, we're also offering them the space to share their own stories and their own experiences, what works for them in their own lives and what doesn't work, because a youth out there could also possibly connect to that shared experience. Finally, our third core belief is authenticity. Today, young people are growing up immersed in social media in a world of filters. Youth crave authenticity and realness, not just content for content's sake, but a world that's all about keeping it real. We want everyone to feel that they can be their real selves, authentic selves, both online and offline. So there's no judgment in our campaign. It's just real talk, real connections with each other and our squad, and also on our social media. So we're going to go through these core beliefs and kind of outline how we do what we do and what it is. So our Resilience Squad is composed of passionate young leaders who engage in ongoing education and coaching sessions to hone their own skills in resilience building. Through our online platforms, the social media, and our website, the squad gets to share their personal experiences, practical advice, and resilience techniques to grow a sense of community and provide valuable resources for youth across Ohio. Here are some statistics that represent our squad. Last year, we had a cohort of 20 youth from across Ohio in 11 different counties. This is a really important aspect of what we do, and it's at the heart of all we do. It's a group of really passionate young leaders who are interested in educating other people about resilience practices and wellness wisdom so that they can grow in their resilience journey themselves and help others along the way. So along with the Resilience Squad, we have a shared leadership model, one that includes both a committee of youth leaders and a group of adult leaders who are mentors to both the squad and our youth leaders. This leadership has a threefold set of expertise or interests. The first is community, other is marketing, and the third is in wellness. So in the middle of these three is our sweet spot where we find the Hey I'm Here Ohio campaign thriving. And we also find our Resilience Squad here, gaining that experience for their personal and professional life in these three areas. So going on to our second core belief, resiliency for real life, one way that we ensure that we're not just preaching to our audience, but rather practicing what we preach is by providing resilience coaching for our squad. So every month the squad gets together and they learn a certain skill based on a theme or topic around wellness. Coach Jen is our resilience expert, and I'm going to play this video where she is talking about how to connect with your heart by finding your happy place.
Do you have a happy place in your mind? That happy place you go to in your mind, or a power spot? The answer could be no. The answer could be, I've tried and it doesn't seem right. The answer could also be, oh yeah, I've got my happy place. I go there daily. Whatever is true for you, that's right. I want to say this, that living in a state of chronic stress, even experiencing trauma, it does something to our mentalization, our ability to just create and go to a place in our mind's eye. It impacts our ability to imagine. So if that's your experience, just see that, welcome that part of yourself. This is how this experience was for me when I first started. And so it's important for me to share this asterisk caveat. It's just to welcome the whole experience here. I'm going to ask you to consider your happy place, a place that is uplifted. It can be real, it could be imagined. Maybe you've only seen a picture of it. When I ask people to consider their happy place or their power spot, it always amazes me as how often this is out in nature. Real or imagined, experienced or not yet. I invite you to consider a place that brings you joy, ease, feels safe. The amount of stimuli is right for you. I invite you to consider your happy place or your power spot and let it be true for you. When I first started out, this was an actual place that I visited on a youth group trip in Colorado. And it was a rock that I sat on, and I remember it well. And over time, as I practice happy spot going there, it evolved to a spiritual place where I visualize myself when I pray and meditate, to an actual place on vacation that I have a picture of. Oh, the kites flying, There's almost like one cloud in the sky. Otherwise, it's just that bright blue. The waves are rolling in. There's a picture of the Forerunner and my loved one. So those are three options for you to consider of what does it mean to pick a happy spot. It just means uplifted, the right amount of stimuli that makes you feel at ease. And it might feel authentic and true for you at first, or it might feel a little manufactured, and that's okay. I invite you to sit back and notice your feet on the ground, notice where support comes from, notice what connection feels like, and the fact that you're breathing. Notice any tension or constriction, ease it the best that you can. And set your intention to connect to a happy place, your power spot. Where would you go? Where would you be? Let the details color in. Let the details wash through. What do you see? What's around you? Are you solo or is someone else there? What do you hear? Is there a taste, a smell to the air? What is this experience for you of your happy place, your power spot, the place where you can just be, can be your human being rather than your human doing? When we find ourselves in this space, we can start to align our thoughts with our thinking, with our feeling, our being, and our sensing. And starts to welcome a new rhythm of coherence. See how it's unfolding for you.
So the youth find these videos from Jen every month at the beginning of the month, and they find it on our community platform that we use to communicate all things squad related called Circle. And then they find another video that's about reflecting on those practices and techniques that Jen coached. So I'm going to share this video by our resilience coach Leroy, which is what the squad watches after the pre-practice videos that contain the topic and techniques. This may include several videos, a couple practice ones, and one that just talks about the topic so we can learn how to use this topic in our everyday lives.
Peace, good people. I am back with another monthly reflection for our squad sessions. And after listening to Jen's message for us for this week's squad, I've been thinking about matters of the heart, and more specifically, how do we honor our hearts? What does honor look like for us? How does the world try to keep us from acknowledging and actually living authentically through our hearts? And in turn of that, how do we actually honor our hearts to give it space to exist, um, and allow it to naturally do what it wants to do and be more of a collaborator with our bodies instead of um, a force against it. And in that same light, you know, how do we take it seriously? How do we learn from our hearts? How can we acknowledge what the heart has to teach us, even though it's not our brains? How do we still see it as something productive and positive? How do we learn with our hearts? And how do we become fluent in the language of the heart? How do we start to understand it a little better? These are some things to think about as we get into our squad session tomorrow.
So all squad members watch these videos, practice on their own, do a little self-reflection, and then we all get to come together for a 1-hour Zoom session once a month, and we all get to talk. And during these sessions, it's a chance for us to talk in real time about this month's topic and the practices that we tried, how it worked for us, what resonated with us, what maybe didn't work so much. And it's a great time to get to know one another and share stories and our own advice and practices with one another. And as being a squad member, I can say it's such an amazing experience to be a part of a community of like-minded youth that have this passion for spreading awareness about mental health and not only want to better themselves and learn techniques and ways to help them on their own journey, but also share these techniques and spread our help to the other youth in Ohio. After these squad sessions, at the end of the month, this is when we create content for our campaign. This goes into the third belief around authenticity. For us, we really want our content to come across as real, authentic, as if the person who's speaking to you actually experienced the practice that they're sharing. We want the person to know what it's like to go through a challenging time in order to have a reason to use this practice, sharing this with our audience in a real way, and not just that they're promoting something for the sake of promoting it. So I'm going to share with you Amanda's Happy Place video, and you can see exactly what we mean by authenticity.
Ever feel dysregulated by breath? Everyone is always telling you, take a deep breath. Maybe that makes your body feel unsafe. Maybe it makes your body feel uncomfortable or uneasy. That's okay. Often, when our bodies experience lots of trauma or stress, bringing awareness to that breath can be scary for our bodies. Let's try something else. This technique, called Happy Place or Power Spot, I learned through the Hey I'm Here squad sessions, and this technique allows us to feel a sense of safety inside of ourselves, build a sense of calm, and always kind of have an anchor inside of ourselves when times get tough. So now think of a place, real or imaginary, that you can go back to, ground yourself in, and feel comfortable. Maybe your power spot is surrounded by water, or at your favorite local coffee shop, at a friend's house, a concert. Visualize it. Feel the comfort that it brings you. What does your happy place look like? Where can you go in your mind and your body to feel comfortable again? Safety can be built inside ourselves. Sometimes we just need the right tools.
So our platforms are Instagram, TikTok, and our website where we host a blog. Each week we post about 4 pieces of content, and 98% of the content that you see and we share is created by the youth for the youth. The goal within this campaign is to really harness the power of social media by providing everyday resilience practices to support and uplift youth across Ohio. We know that social media can be harmful at times for youth if not used in a beneficial way. So our goal has constantly been to contradict that and provide a safe, supporting, non-judgmental platform. In terms of numbers, our campaign has had over 3 million impressions from people across Ohio and beyond since 2019. Every impression that we get is a chance to meet someone where they are. We've also had over 34,000 views on TikTok and over 1,500 followers on Instagram with over 36,000 impressions, and these numbers are continuing to grow. Numbers don't always tell the whole story, though. Our impact is often measured by the way someone feels or how they have integrated resilience into their life. A glimpse of this is seen in a quote by one of our squad members. She says, "The squad has especially impacted the way my mom and I interact. We are able to be more vulnerable and connected with each other." This impact becomes even more evident in the pre- and post-session surveys that we have with our Resilience Squad. These surveys are taken before and after the session, and squad members report feeling anxious and tired before the session. However, after participating in a 1-hour resilience session, the squad reports feeling happy, joyful, hopeful, and optimistic. Squad members take these positive feelings into their daily lives, positively impacting not only themselves, but also their community. And in turn, they go and create content from that hopeful and peaceful, happy place that they will hopefully spread that same positive feeling to our followers online. Another quote from one of our squad members says that the Resilience Squad has changed my mindset completely. From just this experience, I have grown a lot of self-trust, and I feel like I've learned to tell myself it's okay. It's important to tell ourselves, no matter where we are on our journey, it's okay and we're growing. We may not make the right decision or handle a situation the way we wanted to, but we learn from this, and it's important to give ourselves grace while discovering our own resilience. So I took my video off so that you can scan the QR code. This QR code will take you directly to our Instagram channel, but now you're invited to take a part in this campaign and join us. This Instagram channel contains all of our content that we share. You can share our content with somebody that you might know or care about, or who would be interested in being part of the squad, or maybe just a young person who needs to hear this message and maybe their caregiver. You can also get access to our events and resources on our website and share our message with your friends. Also on our website, you'll find our live application. So if you are youth ages 14 to 27 in Ohio, consider applying to join our next squad cohort. Or if you are not of these ages but know someone that's interested, please direct them to our website where they can find the application and more information. Thank you for listening, and I hope to hear from you soon.